So.
Boom. All right. All right, let's do sound test. First off, let me know, did anyone hear music in the beginning there? I don't know if I was recording the the desktop. Any image, and how's the audio? The reason I'm asking is because I'm running 18 minutes late. Damn, what's up with that? I'm running 18 minutes late. And people are asking, is it over? It's just starting. I don't know what you're talking about. But can you hear anything? No one's answering me. Maybe it's not. Wait. What is going on? Is there any image? Wait, and people are asking, is it over? It's just starting. I don't know what you're talking about, but can you hear anything? No one's answering. Wait, what is going on? Bum, bum. Is there any image? All right, I might have to change things again. I don't know. This is infuriating. Just pissing me off. I went and changed settings. Is it over? It's just starting. I don't know what you're talking about, but my whole shit is frozen. I went and changed settings. I got the new version of OBS. Changed some settings. I went on the internet, looked at to make it better. I did a test stream that was unlisted, and it ran flawless for 25 minutes. Not one lag, not one cut. It was flawless. So then I just started this new one, and my whole shit is froze. So give it a second. Maybe it'll clear out, hopefully. And damn. The chat is delayed. The chat has a 30-second delay. So what I'm saying now, I'm reading what you guys are saying 30 seconds ago. You know what I mean? Like in the past. I'm like 30 seconds in the future at all times. So, you know, I don't know. Taylor Ryder, it's not streaming for me. Can't hear or see you. I don't hear anything. Perfect for me. I can't see anything. Weird. It looks good for me. I see it. That's got to be on YouTube's end, because some people can hear it and see it and some people can't. I have my feed up and it says it's fine. Now it's fine. Before it was just stuck on the thumbnail. Ronnie, I'm working. 30-second delay. Don't tell my boss. I'm gonna tell your boss. I'm reading what you guys are saying 30 seconds ago. You know what I mean? Like in the past, I'm like 30 seconds in the future at all times. So yeah, I could still tweak with the settings, but this just pisses me off. For me, can't hear or see you. I don't hear anything. Guys, I might just reset it. I got so many people saying they can't see or hear. And then I got a lot of people saying they can see and hear, so I don't know what's going on. That's got to be on YouTube. But I'm just so pissed because, like I said before, I did 20 minutes, and it was flawless. I don't know why this is... It was just stuck on the thumbnail. YouTube says it's processing my other live stream. Oh, now it's done processing, so maybe that was jamming YouTube up. I don't know. Let's see how it's clearing out now, so let's see how it does, because it was processing the other one. So give it another minute or two. It should be good. Everyone's saying refresh if you're having any problems. See if that fixes it.
So many people saying they can't see or hear. And then I got a lot of people saying they can see and hear, so I don't know what's going on.
That's got to be on YouTube.
But I'm just so pissed.
My favorite character is Rick Grimes.
Yeah, 20 minutes, and it was flawless. I don't know why
what
this
is pop-out chat?
It was just stuck on the thumbnail.
Chat.
YouTube says it's
look at that!
processing
I can
my
have
other
the
live
chat
stream.
screen on a whole
now it's
different
done
thing.
processing, so maybe that...
Oh no, where did the pop-out chat go? Where'd you guys go? Oh, there you are. I'm moving the chat over here. That way I can see it. We're going to get the Q&A, the answering comments going in 1 second, guys. I'm moving the chat. Everything looks good on my screen. You guys are going to have to let me know if it jams up. Oh, damn it. But do you agree that The Walking Dead kind of sucks sometimes? I don't know. I do agree that there's parts I don't like, sure. You know, absolutely. I wouldn't go as far as sucks. Even the parts that I don't like, I think there's a lot of promise. Like a lot of the acting, especially in the parts I don't like or don't agree with, the acting's still good. The props and the set locations and how they did it, the writing, the dialogue. There's always stuff that I really like, but it's not my cup of tea. But I disagree highly with a lot of watchers or fans that just think it's bad or it sucks. I just strongly disagree. Absolutely. Do you think what do you think about Dale, Ronnie? I don't know. That's such a vague question. I like Dale. I really like Dale. I thought he was, and I know some fans get pissed off about his the way he talked and the way he disagreed, and especially his shit with Randall. But I absolutely love the entire group sitting there talking about the Randall situation. I love that shit. Back then in season 2, I loved it, and still today when I rewatch it, I love it. I love when they sit around and they talk about, yeah, back then it fit perfect. Nowadays it'd be real different, you know what I mean? Anyone who's having any other problems, definitely refresh the stream and see if that does anything better for you, because I'm hearing a lot of people say it's good for them. I'm hearing you live a minute ago on top of each other. Wait, what? Yeah, if you're having any problems, definitely, what is this? May, viewers, May, comments, okay. Definitely refresh the stream. It's done echoing. Hey guys, any chance Simon catches Dwight betraying the Saviors and they get into a bloody fight? There's always a chance of something like that happening, but it depends on what direction the story takes and what does that do for the story. Is it just a fist fight? If that's the case, I don't care about that, you know. But if that leads to something suspenseful where it's a rush against the clock to kill, Simon before he gets back to Negan to tell him. But then again, at this time, I kind of disagree with that too, because I strongly feel they have a lot of potential to use Simon as the big death for the end of the season, as the big bad death. You know what I mean? That way they can do something a little different with Negan without disappointing a lot of the fans, you know? Because a lot of fans are going to want a conclusion at the end of All Out War. And if they want to use, that story, Negan's story, to kickstart a different story, I think using Simon for a big death is definitely cool. Rundles.com. What are the odds of Father Gabriel surviving All Out War? I think the odds are good. I mean, he could die, absolutely, but I think the odds are good. I personally thought and still think he will be a goner in Season 8 ever since they started putting heavy shine on his character. And see, listen, they got a really good actor, though. So when they give him shine, I don't see that as getting the character ready to die. I see that as, utilizing a good actor. Why wouldn't you want to utilize him? Seth Gilliam has a lot of range and a lot of talent, a lot of charisma. The more they utilize him, the better they'll be, I think, for that character. Which 2 characters on the show do you want to see interact with more? more with each other, like maybe Carol and Michonne. Carol and Michonne's pretty cool. It all depends on the story, though. At this time, two characters interacting more. I don't know. It's so spread out. I tell you what, I do like the dynamic between Daryl and Morgan. I did like that. And I would like to see more of Daryl and Morgan, definitely. I think there's something cool there. I'm gonna wait. No, Alex. If it were up to you to write the scene, how would you write the death of AMC's Rick Grimes? That is just simply not a question I can answer on stream. I know that comes up a lot, like how would you end The Walking Dead, or how would you kill off Rick Grimes? There's no way you're answering that. Because you can't do it justice. You know what I mean? There's no way. Off top of your head, first off, the biggest problem answering that, what's the story? You know what I mean? Is it during All Out War? Is it during the prison attack? Is it during the Whispers? Is it during finding a government bunker, 20, 40, 50 issues from now? It really depends on the story. There's a huge difference killing Rick Grimes during All Out War and killing Rick Grimes when Carl is now an old man. Not an old man, but Carl is a grown adult with his own kids. I would definitely write the story different if it was Rick dying when Carl was young versus Rick dying when Carl was older and had his own family, I still love the idea of if you were going to kill everyone and make it a sad shit ending where they all die, there's been something always in the back of my mind that it might be risky and it might be hard to do, but I love the idea of him dying. You can set up the death however you want, whether it's a fight with a big bad or the community's being destroyed, but him walking off, leaving everything, he lost, dying, turning into a zombie, and then we follow Rick Grimes as a zombie, and then running into another group of survivors, and then he just gets killed like a regular walker. Like, you know how they have herds of walkers? I think there's something powerful in that because of the message it sends. And I know this is probably not the direction they'll want to go because they want to be over dramatic with it, because this is Rick Grimes, but I think it sends a huge message. Maybe they could do this with another big character that's not Rick Grimes, but if he just gets killed as a regular walker in a whole herd, it would just send this message of all these other walkers had lives, they had stories, they had good stories. Some of them used to be, before they died and became a walker, they used to be the heroes in their story, you know what I mean? Somewhere out there, someone has a story of this person, records of this person leading a group, and then maybe that group ends and they just became a wandering walker and they just die, just like some survivor walks up and then it ain't nothing, he just puts a screwdriver in Rick Grimes' walker eye and that's it. Like, that's just such a depressing shit way to end, but I think it reverberates with an amazing message about the entire world of the walkers, Anyway, Mama Otter, Q&A. By refresh, do you mean leave and come back? No, just click on that circle icon. Technically, that is the same thing as leaving and coming back. But yeah, just click the circle icon, the refresh icon, or you can leave and come back. Yeah, I guess you could back out, but I think the refresh is better. Hey Ronnie, 801 is entirely spoiled already, so be careful what you read. Yo, to be honest, the 90% of the times it's people warning me about spoilers that will spoil it. Not the way you did it, but somebody will be like, oh man, they'll say something they don't think is a spoiler, but if you just sit back and think about it, like, you'll be like, oh man, I get a lot. Especially if the predictions are kind of right, they'll be like, oh, Ronnie, you're going to love, based off your video, you're going to love every minute of da-da-da-da. And that tells me that at least what was in my prediction video is definitely going to happen. And sometimes that's a bummer because even dropping little hints, if you just think about it a moment and my brain's always going a million miles an hour, I'll pick up on it. And it's just like, oh, man, I really wish I didn't hear that. What do we got here? Taylor Ryder, they'd never kill Daryl, bunch of pussies. Probably not. Prime Matrix, Ronnie, do you think it is interesting that Dale and Andrea died in similar ways, both peaceful in bed with their lover putting them down? Yeah, you can draw a some symbolism in that and a parallel to that. I think that is a cool way, cool thing to do with the characters. Jesse Bascha, hello. I have a question about the comics. Do you think? Sorry, I was thinking about Bob. I don't know why, but I was thinking, wait a minute, how does that? Never mind. Jesse Bascha, question about comics. Do you think the Whispers are going to be gone? Or just to start. No, the Whispers are not gone. Some of the questions, if I mumble, I'm just making sure they're real questions, and then, if I say it, obviously the question is, are the Whispers gone? I'm saying, no, they're not gone, so if you hear me mumbling and you think there's more to it, there's usually not. I'm just condensing the question. Third pigeon. Do you reckon we will get flashback episode where we see Rick and his family? I don't see any reason why we would need that, You mean like Lori and stuff? In the way you said that made it feel like it's in the pre-apocalypse. I just don't see a reason for that, especially since Carl is so aged it would be impossible to do that. Germ the Worm. Q&A. Will Michonne leave after All Out War? At this time, I don't think there's a reason for her to, but with the TV show, they might start building that in Season 8 for Season 9, so you never know. But right now, I don't see a reason. Zophi. Do you think we'll ever see another villain as iconic as Negan? Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. There's a lot of different places the story can go, so I think we'll definitely get another villain that might be even bigger than Negan. What do we got? Dylan Voorhees. Q&A. TV Negan or comic? Comic. There's something about the comic that just doesn't translate on the screen. And I tell you what, 100% Negan's size, and I'm just sick of the comments saying that size doesn't matter. Negan's size is one of the biggest reasons why I like comic Negan better, because it fits his attitude, it fits his charisma, it fits this idea of Negan walks into the room, he physically dominates everybody. He is a loudmouth. All he needs to do is just, crush your throat. And this is when you look at the images in the comic, you see a guy who he all he needs is the bat, because if you're within grabbing reach or hitting reach of him, he could just crush your throat. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, back in the Magic City, I think that's what it's called, when I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that would be a Negan. He had the bulk on him where when he was, near other characters, I'm like, this is a dude who could physically just dominate in a room if there was no weapons or this, that, and the third. I can see his charisma taking these people over and getting them infatuated with him as a leader and all that shit. So I don't think it translates the same on TV. Plus, the cursing doesn't as well. And the cursing, again, it's not just about cursing. It's about how it plays out, and it's about how it makes his character look. And his character looks like somebody who is, I don't want to say childlike, but immature, because he does a lot of things that's strategic. He does a lot of shit that's smart. He's a good read of people. But at the same time, he is like someone who is not taking this shit serious. He takes it serious, but he doesn't, if you know what I mean. He's just like, it is what it is, and I think it's a combination of all that with the cursing and the size, the demeanor. I think all that just does something a little more that they just can't do on the show. Now, when they released a Blu-ray, I might start changing my mind if they have a Negan that is that comes off a little bit different. But then again, the size thing is still an issue, But it's not that big of an issue. I still really, really enjoy the charisma from Jeffrey Dean Morgan. The only negative I have is I feel like the smiles are too slow. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but if you go back and rewatch the end of Season 6, even the beginning of Season 7, when he slowly starts to smile, it's different than the comic. In the comic, it felt like somebody who was just having fun all the time. Everything was a joke. As serious as it was a joke. He was there to have fun. He was there to lay down the law, you know what I mean? But he's also there to have fun. In the TV show, it kind of feels like someone who's getting a boner, you know what I mean? Or who's sexually gratifying theirself in a creepy way. He has like this more creepy demeanor about him. And I think the slow smile, and how it's not as playful, I think that plays a big part in it. But there's moments where it's like 100% great. Then there's other moments where it's like, I don't know, he's on borderline creepy. But the comic is just pictures, so it's easier to just draw your own conclusion of what kind of character or what kind of vibe that character gives off. Let's start scrolling through some other. Oh shit, like the regular. Such a pointless ending, though. Laugh out loud. Listen, that's what I said about. Well, are you talking about the Rick Grimes thing? Yeah. Created an ending that's not pointless at this point in time, and that's what I mean about sitting back and developing something. If it were on my shoulders, I would never do that in a million years. I would sit back and develop something, all depending on what you had going on. Are you continuing the story with the other characters? If that's the case, then Rick Grimes' death, it absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, it must lend itself to the progression of the lives of the other characters, without a shadow of a doubt, and that will solve your pointless problem. But this is a zombie apocalypse. Deaths are pointless. You know what I mean? Unless you're mapping it out to how it's gonna, how it's gonna push the other story's characters' lives going and yada yada yada. But Sasha's death, pointless. Who else? Amy's death, pointless. Who else do we have? Andrea's death, pointless. You can say that for pretty much all of them, because there's only a very few of them that directly kickstart the or jump kick the story into a direction. A lot of them, it motivates the story to go in that direction by pushing the characters. But I do agree with you. Part of that, it has to do with the death itself for the communities and the people. Yeah, it's utterly pointless. But it's that message that I love. That message of the walkers having all of them having these stories behind them. And I think that's something that they haven't really done on The Walking Dead. They've teased it, which I love. Like the bicycle girl getting her webisode. And they teased the tank guy having a origin story. I love the origin stories for the zombies. Let me scroll down. Do you think that Rick is going to become the new Negan if Rick does kill Negan? No, not at all. Rick is Rick. What's up, Ronnie? What's going on? Will Tara survive Season 8? It's possible, but I'm 60% chance feeling like she might die during the war. Vivian, what are your thoughts on Aaron's boyfriend dying so Aaron and Jesus can be a couple? I don't care. I'm not into shipping, so I really don't care. And that goes for a lot of the cast. It really needs to affect the story for me to give a damn about characters linking up. So I couldn't care less. Ji Young. What does that say? How much will the first issue of Doomsday Kingdom cost? Because I'm willing to pay. Danny King. Well, we're doing our best to keep it under the $2.99. But hold on. There's a warning there. It's shipping. We're selling it online when it drops, so you got to pay the shipping, so that adds into the price technically. So I need to get that iced tea, baby. So that's why we're trying to sell some of the prints and then have other options and stuff to help kind of make up for some of the shipping costs. So but if we were selling them in person, like we go to a convention or whatever, I'm trying my best to keep it at $2.99. I think that's the best thing we could do. Let Marvel be the greedy bastards trying to sell it for $4, $5, $10, you know. Let's move this over. Oh, Chris Hirani. Do you have a ballpark figure as the first issue of Doomsday Kingdom? Wait, what? Do you have a ballpark figure as to the first? I don't know what you mean. Money-wise, we just talked about that. Who do you think will play TV beta? I have no clue. That dude from Game of Thrones could be pretty cool, though. He played the Hound. Dwight, Sasha's death kick started something. If not for Sasha and Eugene, because he gave her the pills, they would be dead, and at least some of them. Sasha's death kick started something, if not for Sasha. It's debatable. I mean, the other group was coming to help save them anyway, so I disagree. I do see what you mean. It stalled it a little bit to help kick off that but who's to say that other group wouldn't come in some way, shape, or form help save the day. Connor B, a big part of New Beginning is Rick being so physically damaged that he is unable to go on the field anymore. How can they bring that aspect to the show if they don't chop off his hand? Easy, you know. They chopped off Rick's hand in the comic, and he was still out in the field. I will agree but disagree. I think you were overlooking the knee thing. That is what did it. The hand didn't do shit. It didn't slow Rick down at all. So I disagree. They do not need to chop off the hand. Now, they might. If the Walking Dead ratings go down and they need to kind of spruce up the series, they might take his hand. I don't see them doing that, and I don't want them to do that. I would rather that money go into the story, into the environment, than I just don't care about Rick missing a hand. I don't care about it. And I know there's a lot of fans that don't care about it, but I do understand your enthusiasm for it. There are a lot of fans who at least ask about it, you know, whether they want it or not. I assume there's a lot that want it, but I don't. I want it to go into the story. And I do think there's a way to not cripple him, to have him off the field. Absolutely. He needs to lead these people and everything. So, but it's possible they injure him. It's definitely possible, like a leg or something. G. Young, do you think they will ever stop the less gore thing in the future? I hope they do. Absolutely. Brandy Lynn, that girl wearing glasses. Oh, never mind. It's the same. Let's move it down. Oblivious Slinky, do you think Negan will try to console Rick over Andrea's death in an attempt to build trust and an attempt to make up for his neglecting his wife pre-apocalypse? No, I don't see that happening. I do think he will build some type of bond. I don't think it's going to be a best friend bond, but there will be something, some type of level of understanding. I don't think it's going to be a bromance though. Patrick M, will there be digital copies of Doomsday Kingdom we can buy the day of? Yes, we're going to do digital first and then the physical. DD Productions, do you think that they will bring Strand back into Madison's group? Absolutely. There's no way they're going to keep characters separated. I just don't see a point in that. Yeah, I don't see a point in that. Corey Dupree, Ronnie, love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Fear Vids, hey Ronnie, how do you think 801 will play out? Like, what do you think may happen? I literally just did a whole video. I think it was, yeah, it was about 6 minutes or so. Go check out the video I did just before this, I think, or yeah, something like that. But I just did it. You can't miss it. It's like a bright green or yellow thumbnail. Melissa B, it's like Jamie Lannister. Wait, what? Only made him stronger after. It's like Jamie Lannister only made him stronger after. I guess so. I mean, technically, he got weak as shit after. He went from being one of the best fighters ever, and he just couldn't. But I do know what you mean. It definitely did something for his character, though. I think it was a big plus for his character. But Rick Grimes doesn't have that problem, though. Jamie Lannister losing his hand changed his character in a way that it took that spoiled brat assholeness. It really took that out of him, and it really allowed the audience to kind of connect with him in a strong way. I don't think we need that for Rick. I forget Game of Thrones, though. He did start training with his right-hand man. Was it Bronn, right? I forget if he got a lot better. I feel like he does. But you guys got to admit, Jamie Lannister's hand looks ridiculous. If you don't watch Game of Thrones, he has a gold hand like Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. It looks silly as shit. But I love that moment. I would never want Game of Thrones to change that. They cut off Jamie Lannister's hand. If you don't watch Game of Thrones, I don't know what to tell you, because this is like 6 years old. Go watch it. But they cut off his hand, and it looks identical to Rick Grimes getting his hand cut off. They lean him down just like perfectly identical. Even the guy who cuts his hand off, he has like a beard going on, kind of similar to the governor. It is great. You got another guy holding him down, and Jamie Lannister even has the dirty blonde brown type hair, and he's got the thing growing in a little. They wrap his arm up. He looks like comic Rick Grimes. When I started watching Game of Thrones, I had no idea that was coming, and I was like, That is Rick Grimes. I even put that in the review because it looks just like him. Wait a minute. We missed something. Where'd it go? Ashley Estrada. I missed your question. Oh, there we go. I know this has nothing to do with The Walking Dead. Just wanted to say I hope you have a fast, smooth move. I have to move in August 1st, so I'm not looking forward to it. Oh man, that's not happening. I really appreciate it, but it's already gone to shit. It's just increasingly difficult to find an apartment complex I just went to look at 3 today, but it's difficult. Like I said, I don't get approved for backgrounds and shit, so it's rough. The one I looked at today, it's got like prostitutes, gangbangers, and everything. That was the 3rd one I looked at. I was like, fuck this. We lived there, not in that area, but we lived in shitty neighborhoods my entire life. I'm done with that bullshit, especially having a daughter. Not happening. The other one I looked at, it was tiny, so tiny. And then I looked at another one that was a weird setup. But me and Juliet can make it work, you know what I mean? So I'm going to look into getting that one. Do you think Maggie will find love again? From J.R. Barrett. I think she will, yes. I am in no rush whatsoever, though, at all. Nigelo FC Barca. When will you talk about The Last of Us? After the move. A lot of this stuff see, here's the thing. I talked about a lot of update stuff in the beginning of the year. Shit got jumbled around, and I was like, okay, I want to do all the update stuff, and then I was going to come out like a couple months later, and then I had a number of different issues, like something blew up in the car, so I was like, okay, the update funds had to go this direction, so a lot of stuff got jammed up, but we're looking really good for the update stuff. So once we have the move, a lot of the update stuff will start slowly coming out from June to July and then so on. Once we reach that point, it's like once it comes out, it's out. It's done. You know what I mean? So the gaming stuff, The Last of Us, and there's no rush because Last of Us 2, it's not like 2 months is going to matter because The Last of Us 2 is not coming out for a while. I follow them on Twitter, and they're just recording the motion capture now, so it's going to be a while. I thought they were coming out this year. I shit you not. I didn't look into it, though, so I thought they had already done all this, and I thought it was a secret project, but no. But I'm not mad at them. As long as they start releasing collectibles, damn it. They're slacking on that. Kevin1146, what do you think of Rosita and Daryl's relationship? What do you think of Rosita? I don't care. Giovanni D. Bernardi, and I don't say that because like I don't know. It's weird. I'm fickle with relationships because that's the one thing that I see flooding fan bases, and it seems like the one thing that every time a man and woman get together or they're on screen alone together, Strand and Madison, perfect example. They sat down to a bar. Strand is 100% gay. He has a boyfriend. He's in love. Just lost the boyfriend, the love of his life. He's in a zone right now. Madison just is missing Travis, the love of her life. There's no way in hell those two are even close to hooking up. As soon as that episode aired, instead of a lot of people having the rational thought of them growing a friendship, I seen dozens of comments where fans were like, oh, they're going to hook up. They're going to be power couple, whoop, whoop, Fear the Walking. And I'm just like, that is insanity. So when it comes to relationships, 90% of the time you will hear me say, I don't care, because I think that is a very cheap, generic, the worst writing possible when you just simply go, let's hook these two characters up. I hate it. Now, when it's authentic, I love it. I'm ride or die for those characters, for those relationships. With Daryl and Rosita, right now, there's nothing at all that I see where I even consider that a possibility. Now, down the line, if we start seeing them grow, an actual connection that you can see clearly, you know, something that's intimate, though, you know, not something that it's two people who are cool with each other, maybe even friends, because I don't even consider them extremely close friends, let alone being intimate or in a relationship. So when we start seeing something, if it is, you know, if it is authentic and it does have, if it does have a place in the story, I'll support it 100%, absolutely. Free World, Ronnie. How will All Out War be with all the censorship? It'll be hard. Maybe we'll get extended scenes in the Blu-ray. Giovanni, why not really, but do you still do dumpster diving? Wait, not really? I don't know what you mean. No, I don't do dumpster diving. I don't have any... It's just me and Juliet. I can't leave to go dumpster dive. Plus, it takes way too long. And before I had it set up where I can dumpster dive and then hustle the stuff off on the side. And that was because where I was living, it was so easy. Everything was in the city. The flea market area is 2 feet away from you. All the dumpsters are 10 feet away from you. The downtown area is just one spot. 10 minutes drive reaches everything. North Carolina, it is a million times bigger, so it's 30-minute drive everywhere. And if you go 30 minutes this way, you might have to go 45 minutes this way. But if you wanted to be a dumpster diver, and I shit you not, there's going to be so many people who scoff at this, but you could be rich as shit, rich out your ass. Go dumpster diving, especially in somewhere like North Carolina with all the dumpsters and all the shopping centers. You'd be flooded in money if you dedicated 2-3 years to it, got a system down. It'd be insane. I bet you'd be a millionaire. I shit you not. That's how much shit they throw away. So much merchandise. I don't do it because I just don't have a passion for it. I don't. I have a passion for exposing what we throw out. But my passion is getting a media company off the ground. I want to make movies. That's it. You know what I mean? I want to have the media company where we do reviews on stuff. We create our own, and that's filming shorts, filming movies, selling scripts, creating our own animated shows. Like if Make a Path Presents keeps going, I definitely want to have a team creating entertainment like that. I just don't have the passion for dumpster diving as a career to get rich. But if you wanted to, and like I said, a lot of people scoff at that, but there's a woman who dumpster dived and opened up a thrift shop, and she's a millionaire now. I think they did a story on her like 3 years ago. You could look that up on Google. Patty, are you still as hyped for The Walking Dead like the beginning? Yeah, definitely am. Nothing's gonna beat the beginning hype. The beginning hype is because it was something so different and new, you know? Once it's no longer new, the hype is different. In the beginning, you get this hype like, you don't know if it's going to end. You don't know if this is it. Like, is this it? Just one season? This was amazing. I don't know. It's like this rush of awesomeness because you've been wanting a zombie show like this for decades, you know? And then you get it and it's like, oh my God, is this a one and done? Is this going to keep going? Are people going to support this? This is friggin' awesome, da-da-da. Now it's like a different type of hype, you know? I don't have that fear it's going to end next year. Peso Million, do you think Eduardo could be TV series Dante? Peter Zimmerman has been filming a lot. No, I think Eduardo is Eduardo. If you guys don't know by now, I despise characters switching roles. I'm fine with remixing. Totally cool. But remember when everyone said Daryl was going to become Dwight or some crazy bullshit like that? And I was furiously against it because I want Dwight, you know? I want Dante. I want Eduardo. I don't want Eduardo and Dante to become one. I hate it. Asthma. Did you see the trailer for the new movie with Steven Yeun in it? No, I didn't, but I definitely want to look it up now because I want to start this thing on this channel where we go and support the Walking Dead cast in their other projects, and because there's some negativity within the fan base between idiots screaming censorship for gore, idiots being bullies online to some of the cast members. So I want to start a thing where we go in droves, you know, like Sasha's in a new Star Trek. I don't like Star Trek, but I'm going and I'm going to watch it as much as I can until I can't anymore. If it's really just not my cup of tea, I'll stop, but I want to try to shed as much focus on these other projects as we can, you know? Anyway, what do we got? King of Them All. Would a third Walking Dead show be too much? Yes, it would. Absolutely. If you could write, direct a third show, how would your show and characters alternate from the other two shows and video games? Well, first off, I would focus on bad guys. I would focus immediately on a character who can handle this shit, has got his hands dirty. Let's take someone who works kind of sort of for a character who's like a mob boss, because nowadays we don't, it's very different nowadays, but let's take someone who's kind of like a mob boss, has his hands in all kinds of dirty shit. He's got these two younger guys. Let's take a white dude or Italian dude, whatever you want to mix it up. But we got to make it off, not so Italian, mix him with something, white, Irish, something like that, to where he's not 100% cool with the group he's with. It's a cliche thing, but you'll understand if we draw it out. And then take somebody who, like Steven Yeun, give him the role, right? Is he Korean in real life? Anyway, grab him. You got those two characters. It needs to be in winter because fans would love it if that's all they saw was, winter, the winter landscape, and a zombie hidden in a tree somewhere, like a landscape shot with a blizzard, Take that, make this a character who is like a bad guy in life, and then put him through some shit, put them through some shit, I don't know, and put it in a small town, so that way you can film, instead of like a community village, put it in a small town, so that way when shit pops off, you can film one take, no bullshit, this character leaving the one building, walking down the street, there's something in the fog, or not the fog, the blizzard, the snow going all around. Is it a zombie? Is it a person? Do that type of feel, and don't cut to the zombie going, stay with the character. Film him walking slowly. Neither one of you know what is that silhouette that you're about to come face to face to. That's how I would film the entire thing. But I would do something like that. And I would drop this whole take innocent people and then turn them badass. That is becoming a terribly awful cliche anymore. With The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, it works because it was new and fresh in their own sort of way when they did it. But now it's no longer new and fresh, not at all. Hot damn digital copies. Eminem, Q&A, would you like to see an episode in the future with Daryl and Dwight going on some kind of mission together? Yes, I would. I did talk about an idea off the top of my head about Dwight saving Daryl and killing some saviors, and I think that would be a great idea. I think if Daryl still had this I'm going to kill Dwight mentality, and then let's say Daryl gets captured in one of the wars, and they're so excited to get Negan to, be like, oh, pat him on the head, you know what I mean? You get some saviors who are like, all right, radio into Negan, tell him to come here. Dwight hears it. Dwight is, let's say, 10 miles away. Negan's 12 miles away, and Dwight knows this because he just left from where Negan is, so now Dwight zips over there. He knows Negan is right behind him, only a few minutes behind him, and it's a race to get there. Dwight gets there, and he can't just jump out and dun-dun-dun-dun, so he gets there, he's a little outmatched, maybe there's 5 of them, and then Dwight bends down to grab something and starts cutting the binds on Daryl's wrists. One of the saviors gets suspicious, starts walking over, and just as there's a little bit of bind, that's where Dwight raises up, kills the one savior, maybe goes for a gun, gets tackled, Daryl gets tackled. There's this whole shit where Daryl's, I'm just going off the reservation right now, but long story short, build a tension scene where they literally just get away, the camera stays there, and a few seconds later Negan pulls up, makes it seem like Daryl got away on his own because his guys were stupid, but Dwight saves him. Some cool shit like that. I'm fine with that. Alex, do you still dive? No, I do not. Camillo, what do you think is happening with Dwight and the Saviors while Rick was talking to Andrea? They said they were cleaning up. Nicked. Hey, Ronnie, do you think that they will have Negan flashbacks in Season 8? I don't think they should. I think they should save the Negan flashbacks for Season 9. I think it fits perfectly. Abracadabra, which end could be possible in your opinion? I don't know what end do you mean. Which end for The Walking Dead? It all depends on how long it runs. Quam E. Man E. Thomas. Ronnie, are you excited for 2018 Predator movie? I don't want to talk about the Predator movie because no the fuck I'm not. I was so excited for the new Predator movie. He is Shane Black. I loved him from Lethal Weapon, the original Predator, so many other shit I like Shane Black for. And then they release images of the Predator for the new movie coming out. I saw the mask and I'm like, oh man, it's like slick, black, it's glossy, it's got a neat design. This is off the hook. And then I took a closer look and I'm like, wait a minute. You got human clothes on the Predators, no wrist gauntlet, no bomb gauntlet, no Predator technology, no shoulder cannon. And I'm just sitting here like they're in the tank, in the gun, with the humans. They're chilling with the humans, going to... Just immediately I said, fuck no. That sounds and looks so stupid. But I tell you what, I'm done with the set photos until they release the trailer. If the trailer looks good and turns me around, no matter what, I'm most likely going to go to the theaters and see it. I'm a huge Predator fan, but I tell you what, the idea, or I guess there's a leaked script. I haven't looked into it, but people said it's yeah, the photo they released, it's the human and Predator working together, and I'm just like, no, just no, fucking hell. What do we got here? Alex Pritt. Ronnie truly understands the art of writing. I just went back and listened to his answer to my question, and that shit was deep. I forget which one you mean now, but thank you very much. It's hit or miss, though. That's one thing I love talking about writing and concepts, but it also gets frustrating, though, because you got to be quick. You can't lay it all out, and there's so much more than the concept. Like, you lay out the concept, and in your brain, you can visualize the mood, the setting, and you can visualize how you want to make it to be impactful. But pitching it is very different. If you don't pitch it 100% and the way someone hears it is different, it just comes off totally wrong. So in a way, I love it, but it's also like walking on thin ice. Meerkat 280. The Last of Us is 3 years away. I think he will have time. I hope to hell it's not 3 years away. I know it's definitely a year easy. A year easy. I would say a year and a half. Hopeful we're going to start getting like, release date, maybe 2 years at the most. But 3 years, there's just no way. I hope it's not 3 years. Taylor Ryder. If it's 3 years, Naughty Dog honestly failed to bring that out sooner. I don't know why. They're not releasing merchandise. They're not pushing anything else around it. I don't know if, are they too scared? Or are they afraid that this is a one and done and they can't outdo or they can't match what they did before? I don't know what the problem is, but someone needs to slap everyone in the face, because they have enough material there to create a franchise. And we're not talking about taking a franchise that's dead and it barely has life to it and stretching it out for money like Resident Evil. We're talking about a franchise where you can take a mediocre writer, throw him in there, and he could come up with gold. That is how much playground you have in the world of The Last of Us. So I think it's insanity that it's taken them that long. Anyway, Taylor Ryder. Q&A. Ronnie, have you ever watched Vikings? No, I haven't. My grandfather told me to watch it. He saw this one where they cut open a guy and threw his lungs over his shoulders or something. He was like, yo, you gotta watch that. It's crazy. Aaron KM, the trailer for Star Trek was fucking banging. Go watch it. I thought the trailer was good. Again, I'm not a Star Trek fan, so it didn't do much for me. I did laugh, though. I shouldn't have, but when the one guy's like, my main purpose is to sense when death is near. And then like 1 second later, death is near. And I lost it. I'm like, oh, fuck. What good are you? But I know it's a trailer. It's not the show, so it's probably farther apart. Jeff Cover, when are you interviewing Peter Zimmerman? In June. That's all I know right now. In June. Once June comes and I get set up, I contact him. We set up a date that's good for the both of us, and then we're going to rock out with it. But I tell you what, when we do the interview and when it gets released, it's not going to be a long gap in between, so I'll definitely be able to promote it before we release it. Alex, hey Ronnie, love the content. Thank you very much. Patrick M, fuck, I want this show. Robin, wow, didn't know it was still that far away. Dylan Hudson, who do you think the victims of Alpha's massacre will be in the show? That's difficult. I'm definitely going to revisit that, but you could name something now that might seem easy, and that's because that person dies in Season 8, and then you're back to the drawing board, so I'm not sure. I think the most important thing has to do with, listen, there's going to be 4, definitely, that aren't even introduced yet. That's a definite. We already know that 100%. There's no way you can guess that. because with 100% accuracy right now, because they didn't even introduce some of the characters that are going to die at that point in time. So I think right now we can guess some of the main ones, and even then it gets a little tricky. But I think they might keep the main one. You guys know who that is. Katie Gate. Oh, wait, no. Alex Pritchett. Death predictions for Season 8. That is coming in June. As soon as I get the move, I'll pump out that video. Meerkat. There's a lot of editing. That's the why. Well, the video I want to make, there's a lot of editing. I want to make it fun, and I want it to be able to entertain and be pretty looking. I have fun with those that take a lot of editing, so just bear with me. When I get the move over with, we'll do that video. If I edit it now, it'd be a little bit every day, and it would take until June anyway. So Meerkat 280. They had barely started. 3 years is the latest. It's probably going to make 2019. Nicked Ronnie, did you play the Walking Dead games? No. If so, do you think that the stories are the same in the universe of the TV show? Yes, I did play first season. No on the second two because I'm waiting for the move to do the gaming stuff. And no, I do not think the stories are the same. As far as I am concerned personally, the characters in the Telltale game do not and will never exist in the TV show universe. It's a different company that owns the rights, and I don't think they'll ever come together for that unless we have some serious problems with ratings, and then even then they would have to look and see if Telltale has enough consumer base to even give a boost in ratings. So for me, I just don't think they exist in that universe. Amstel54, the Fear trailer looks sick. Fear vids. Kune, Ronnie, do you think Madison would be a good leader in Fear? I think she's turning badass. Yeah, I think she'd be a good leader. Once Travis gets over this bullshit with his kids, I think he would be a cool leader too. Mobin Mazlumanium. What if they recasted Steven as Glenn's twin? No, that's dumb. Sorry, but I hate that idea. I hate twin ideas because it's just silly. Thomas, Ronnie, are you excited for? Oh wait, you already asked that. Hey Ronnie, what is the #1 thing you wish you wouldn't have got spoiled on in The Walking Dead? The #1 thing? That's hard. What is the #1 thing? Hold on. Let me take a drink. The #1 thing. You guys, what's the #1 thing you wish you wouldn't have gotten spoiled on in The Walking Dead? #1 thing. It's gotta be season 7 premiere. And I'm not just saying the deaths, you know. I'm saying all of it. The entire premiere was leaked, and then people got it, and then they just used leaked spoilers, confirmed leaked spoilers as their predictions. So every day for months, people were saying, oh, I predict Negan's going to kill this guy, then kill this guy, then take Rick, drag him out here, have him fetch his axe, and then you know what, I think he's gonna pretend to cut off Carl's hand. And then, but he's not going to, though. And then, you know, and it's like, those flooded the comments. You could still go back and read it, and you'll see those everywhere. So I have to say that the premiere for season 7, yeah, definitely. Q&A from Taylor. Ronnie, for the love of God, if you start producing TV shows and movies, pick me to work on it too. Well, the idea of Make a Path Presents, I don't know if it's realistically going to work, but the idea for MAPP is to use the internet platform to create a company and use fans to create the entertainment. I'm not talking about build up a company and then work with Hollywood with established, you know, pick and grow and you know, come up with new upcoming talent for the future. Yes, we will team up with, if we were able to, people that are already established, people that are already up and comers, and yada yada yada. Absolutely, but the idea was to do that, to grow the community in MAPP, and then use the community. Who does graphic design? Who does marketing? Who does this? Pull all the resources in, and then we work on projects. You know, this projects have some type of voting system and everything, so we'll see how that goes. But that, I have things planned out. The timeline took a little hit. probably like a 6-month give or take, but I have a timeline set for 2020 to do something, so it's going to take a little bit. There's a project in 2018, something small for 2019, and then something big for 2020. If everything fits right, a couple years, we'll be able to do something amazing. Maybe even something that's never been done before, but I don't know. It's rough, Anyway, what do we got? Kurt Cobain. What do you think is a perfect time to bring Glenn back? Never. If you want to have a scene with Glenn as a flashback or something like that, any point in time is fine. I think a perfect time would be when when Maggie needs some type of pick-me-up for the war, something to lift up her spirit, or maybe give her some more what's the word I'm looking for? Some more fire, to fight, something like that. Katie Gate Fierzy. Oh wait, Sinian Blown. Would you like The Walking Dead to still have Negan in season 20? That all depends. That all depends on what direction the story takes, but sure. Joshua Edwards. Will Morgan be the one to stop Rick? I think it's possible, yeah. I don't think it's going to be an impulsive thing. I think it'll come to a point where Rick knows there's only one thing that needs to be done after the war is over. So I think he's going to start planning that out ahead of time. I don't think it's going to be like Rick is about to shoot Negan in the head and people are like, wait, Rick, I have an idea, Melissa B. I wish Fear the Walking Dead could just be better so I could have something zombie in between seasons. Oh, something zombie in between seasons. You can still watch it. Maybe it'll get better for you in season 3. Hey Ronnie, new game coming out. Overkill's The Walking Dead, the first-person shooter for The Walking Dead. Survival Instinct doesn't count. Check out the trailer, bro. Yeah, I know about Overkill. It's taken them forever, though, so I'm starting to lose hope in it. I honestly don't know why they advertised that early. I think maybe it was to pull in investors and all that political bullshit that comes with business. I don't know why I'm saying bullshit. You need to do it sometimes. But I have a feeling that wasn't for the fans. That was for the business side of things. And it's too long of a wait. I love first-person shooters. And at this point in time, if we don't get a trailer, I just don't care. I don't care to talk about it. I don't have any hype for it. It's just too long. You got fan fatigue, But when they drop a trailer, if it is awesome, it's going to be like, it's worth the wait. But if they drop a trailer after all this time and it's weak sauce, it's dead in the water. Survival Instinct, everyone who worked on that should be just ashamed. And I know, not the acting, the actors, they don't know how it's going to turn out, you know what I mean? But everyone who worked on the game aspect of it, designing the sets and the story and the flow of it, the look of it, the game design, how it played, the mechanics, everyone should be ashamed. That is just a horrendous first-person shooter. It looks like something I'd play on a computer 15 years ago. Patrick M. I prayed those spoilers weren't real. They played out exactly. Yes, they did. Nigel, 96. That's possible. Wait, no, you're talking to someone else. Peepin' Deals. My damn ex told me Glenn died before I saw the fake out episode. I was heated. Spin 2020. Oh, no, that's somebody else. Wait. Thomas, that's why you should never end a season in a cliffhanger. I disagree. I strongly disagree. Cliffhangers aren't the problem. It's the type of cliffhanger they did. With the cliffhanger for Season 5, that was a fantastic cliffhanger. That was great on so many different levels. It gave us the reward right before the end. It gave us something to look forward to, but there was still the mystery of how they would get out. There was so much that was just perfect with the cliffhanger. And I feel like Season 6, again, it just needed a tweak, and it might have been all right. But it's extremely difficult to do the deaths in the cliffhanger because they're going to get leaked. They're definitely going to get leaked. And they got leaked in the easiest way possible by fans recognizing who was on set and who wasn't on set. It's just so silly. It's embarrassing it's embarrassing. It's that silly. The girl wearing glasses, my biggest spoiler, was from Friends. Oh, Monica and Chandler. Jeff Cower, what do you think about Shiva eating Judith? I think that's ridiculous. Filmmaker wannabes, which Mazzara shock-related kill in season 3 would you bring back for the TV series? Alex, Merle, or Andrea? Andrea, definitely. That's only if you change her character and change pretty much everything about season 3. I think that would have. I think there's a lot you could have done better, but whatever. Meerkat, no. Steve 4K, that's so far away. Oh. Chris Barber. Haha, the girl. Oh, sorry. Everyone's talking to. Well, there's a few I'm reading that are talking to each other, and I keep reading those instead of the Q&A ones because I see the @ symbol, and my brain goes right to that. My eyes go right to that. Here we go. Q&A. Jeffrey Guy. Let's say the governor never killed Herschel. I don't do hypotheticals, but let's see what you have to say. And him and Rick form a stable survivor community. How would they deal with the saviors? They wouldn't. They just simply wouldn't. They would never in a million years run into the saviors. I think it's easy to forget because they film in the same location. They are 600 miles away from each other, so they're not meeting one another. It's just not happening. So if they linked up with the governor, they'd still be doing their thing in, where were they at? Georgia, and Negan would be down by Washington, D.C. Spin, run out of doctors. Let's look for some more Q&As. Alright, relaxed like a cat. Do you think we will definitely see Alpha to the same extent as in the comics, as some people say that her character has already been spread across Dawn, the police officer, and Jadis? I think that is ridiculous. I disagree. I strongly disagree. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Help me understand why Jadis is at all being compared to Alpha. Alpha does not speak funny. Yes, Alpha and the Whispers are weird in the same strength as they took Michonne's Walker pets to another degree. You know what I mean? But Michonne was walking around with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's best friend as Walker pets on leashes. You know what I mean? Then she covered herself in zombie guts and blood. Like, Michonne is just as weird and strange for that. Her first entrance into the series, she was the weirdo. It's the same with Alpha and them. I mean, it does borderline criminal with how she allows rape, and because they have that whole nature shit going on. So yeah, Alpha is weird. With the garbage people, yeah, they're weird too. But that's the only comparison. Alpha and them don't talk funny, not like the garbage people. That's very different. That's very, very different from the Whispers. So I don't see Jadis anything at all like Alpha, unless you're only counting that they all do weird shit. But again, Michonne did some weird shit. I mean, Negan does some weird shit if you count the wives, you know? If you count how the community's set up, that's weird to a degree. So I don't see the similarities. And again, Dawn had some weird shit going on, some OCD shit, some control issues, some boss issues. I don't agree. I don't agree, and I don't see the similarities. And I don't believe that whatchamacallit, Jadis is Alpha. They constantly talk about, or so far they've been talking about doing more with All Out War and the story going in different directions and doing different things and dealing with different people. And I feel like the Trash Troopers were brought in for that. I don't feel like the Trash Troopers were brought in for an origin story. If that's the case, that's the case, but I don't see it. And I don't think I would like it if they did do that. Moving on. Something Grimes. Why aren't they promoting the Sasha figure? They are not doing it anymore. They're white males, bro. I don't know. It's not coming out yet. They didn't promote Rick that much. They didn't promote Aaron that much. When they first released the images, Once it's a week away, they'll release another image and say it's out now. Sasha's not a week away. They don't keep promoting them. You know what I mean? So they're not going to do that. When Sasha's close to coming out, they'll release out now and select retailers and shit like that. Lucas Janot, do you ever think Maggie will find that interview camera to show baby Herschel what her dad looks like? You know what? I never thought about that. That's cool. I like that. I hope so. I hope so. If we get there with the series, which I hope we do. Alex Pritt, how do you like the idea of Daryl sacrificing himself to save Maggie during all-out war? Nah. At one point in time, you might be like, "Whoa, Ronnie, what do you mean?" Because that's literally what I said after Daryl punched Negan and all that. But with the way they kind of reconciled and how they reconciled, I think that's a stretch. If Daryl still kept this guilt after, maybe if they show in season 8 that he's still got this, you know, suicidal, reckless is a better way to put it, reckless amount of guilt, then I can see that happening. But until then, I don't think it fits anymore. Aaron KM, Ronnie, do you find it problematic that the group has stopped exploring like they did earlier? It seems the adventure part is gone from the show. Do you think the show needs that? No. Right now, it's the war. When we get past the war, I would love to see more of exploring. Absolutely. Thomas, Dying Light is an okay zombie, not for the story, but exploration was pretty good. I didn't like that. I thought Dying Light was too complicated to kill the creatures because you had to get all these weapons, then you had to upgrade them. I upgraded them, and then I just couldn't kill any walkers. Every time you hit them, it was like, even if it's in the head, clearly in the head, they would just fall down all like, you know, block chunky like, or choppy like, and then they would just get up and attack you again. I thought that was cheap. Nigel 96, but I love the running around with Dying Light. I loved the parkour aspect, how smooth it was running and shit. I just didn't like how clunky it was. With Chandler Riggs finishing high school, do you think Carl will get bigger presence this season? Could this be Carl's season? No, because he's going right into college. So I don't understand the point in that. If you're an actor and you want to be an actor the rest of your life, I honestly don't get the point of doing college and shit like that. They're not going to teach you anything that I don't know. I just don't see a point in that. Jeremy Green, is Eduardo the new warrior of the hilltop with Jesus and Maggie? Not from what I've seen. If they give him more story, that would definitely be pretty cool. Jeffrey Guy, would the wolves try to kill the Whisperers or join them? They would try to kill them. Do you think Andrea's death, that Rick will form sort of a council? Maybe. That would be pretty cool. Mr. Super Cree, who do you think will get the Nicholas death from the comics and the TV series? That's rough. I would say Morgan is a good prospect for that, but you'll have to hear my final thoughts with the death prediction video, only because I have something to explain story-wise. Ronnie, have you been watching Better Call Saul? No, I have not. What did you think of the latest episode? No, I quit. I do plan on going back and binge watching the episodes. I did watch the first and second. I really like the second with the Mike stuff, but I need at least 3 or 4 episodes to binge watch. I can't do this week-to-week stuff anymore. It's just burning me out with Better Call Saul. Hemi 30. Do you think Carol will become the leader of the kingdom if Ezekiel dies, or do you think it would take away from Maggie's story being the leader? I don't think it takes away from Maggie's story at all. And I do believe that at this time, we haven't really seen if Carol's going to stay there, stay close to the kingdom people. If she does, then I think that's definitely possible. If not, somebody who's been there at the kingdom is more likely to rise up as leader. Chris Barber, any prediction on the number of Savior outposts we will see? How many actually exist in the Walking Dead world? Well, they did kind of hint that they are ready. So I'm guessing Simon has an outpost. I'm guessing Gavin is from a different outpost. And then we have the Sanctuary. And for good measure, let's say there's one more. So I would say roughly around 4, including now the Trash Troopers. That's 5. Trash Troopers might be number 4 anyway, though. So I'm going to have to say either 4 or 5, just as a rough guesstimate. What do we got? I do got to finish up in a few minutes here. Let's try to take some last questions because I got to go pick up Juliet from school. What the hell was the whole point of Daryl being shot by Dwight? That didn't do jack shit. I liked the shooting as it happened, and I hate it now. And that's only because they are so inconsistent with the injury afterwards. And I despise inconsistency. For example, Star Wars had a trailer where the one guy has a scar going like this, and clearly at the end of the last show, he got cut here. That bothers me. That is, and I know this sounds stupid, but that is as bad as recasting in my eyes. Yeah, and I'm ridiculous with it. There's no reason to change it. If you didn't do it right the first time, then you should get fired. And who did that? Was it J.J. Abrams? Fire him. If you are so incompetent at consistency, and I know it was Rian Johnson, I think he was responsible for changing it. He should be fired. And this is coming from someone who loves Rian Johnson. Whose ever fault it is that the wound is inconsistent should get fired. And they should hire someone on The Walking Dead who is simply there to make shit consistent. Because that is just, it's one of the biggest things I hate about consistency. I hate it. Anyway, and I think they did that because in Revenge of the Sith, you guys know Darth Vader had a scar here. They changed it so it's kind of closer and it resembles it, and I think that's why they did it, which is so fucking silly, because Darth Vader has his scar here. If his grandson had his scar here, it's literally on the opposite side of the eye. It just fits. Leave it the way it is. Anyway, let's keep going. King Ezekiel, do you think the average viewer gives a fuck about characters like Diane or Eduardo? The average viewer, when they're first introduced, no, usually not. But the point is, you got to build up the new characters. Again, how do we get new Maggies if we don't build them up? When Maggie and Herschel was first introduced into the show, did the fans say, the casual viewers, did they give a fuck about them? Probably not. But as they were in the show and they started growing their own fan base and then having their own stories, they are now fan favorites. I love Maggie. You know what I mean? Eduardo could be a new Maggie. And that's stupid. You get what I'm saying, though. Eduardo could be a new character like that. We don't know yet. And I think we should give them the shine if it's right for the story and if you have enough time. I want something real cool for as many characters as possible. But if there's just simply no room for it, then you got to just put in what's necessary for the story and keep it moving. Georgino, what do you want to see from San Diego Comic-Con trailer? I hope they use All Out War tagline to sell it. They didn't use No Way Out, which still blows my mind, but I think they need to use the All Out War tagline. There's just no reason not to. And I want that. I want a build-up of, this is what we've been fighting for. This is our home. This is everything we've been through, like kind of this montage of preparing for the war. And then I want the end of that trailer to just be nuts. And I want them to trim the trailer. I want them to cut it in half. Show as little as possible and hype up the fans, and don't put anything in there that's easy to pick out as spoilers, and stop with the trying to fool the fans bullshit like the Morgan and Rick. I think that just dilutes the trailer. That trailer was just shit with that aspect of it. But I really liked what they do with the trailers. But I think there's some things they do with the trailers, and maybe that's a different company that's putting that trailer together. But I think whatever they're doing, they should knock it off. But make the trailers smaller. I am an advocate of smaller trailers. Absolutely. Chris Barber, any prediction on the number of Savior out? Wait, how do we get that question again? I scrolled down. Negan or the governor? Negan. Didn't Luciana teach him and give him that Spanish dictionary? Oh, wait, what are you guys talking about? In Jugular, probably dealt with Hispanic dealers and such. Listen, I was going to go back. I could have sworn Nick didn't know any Spanish. In Season 2, don't they have Nick not knowing Spanish? And then in Season 3, and I see the comment right here. Didn't Luciana teach him and give him that Spanish dictionary? Bullshit. She didn't. There's no way. I think that's ridiculous that they have that scene in there. In Season 3, they show a scene where he's clearly talking to her in perfect English. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Spanish. Yeah, in perfect English, in perfect Spanish. I call bullshit. That sounds ridiculous. Because we didn't see, even off screen, it didn't even seem like there was enough time for her to teach him that stuff. So she conveniently taught him exactly what he would need to know about I'm not leaving you, never, something like that. I don't know. But again, if we go back and look and it's like, oh, he did know some Spanish, I'm fine with that. But like I said, I'm almost positive they had a scene where, you know, he was like, I don't know any Spanish. But if they didn't, oh well. Cinean Blown. Would you like more or less deaths in The Walking Dead in the future? Only one main character per season. For me, it's not about 1, 2, 3, or 4. As long as it's good for the story. You know, whatever's the best for the story. It could be none. No main character deaths for an entire season. I do not care. I don't think I've ever cared unless I thought something was needed for the story. So for me, it could be none. It could be 1. It could be 3. It could be 4. I think this upcoming season, you need a couple. At least 2. At least 2 or 3. Because this is a war. You know, you need at least 2 or 3 for realism alone. Danny DeMeyer. Ronnie, do you think they will cut his hair short in the New Beginning? Oh, cut Rick's hair short in a New Beginning. I think it's possible, sure. Q&A. Would the wolves kill the Whisperers or join them? How would the Terminus deal with the wolves' attack? The Terminus would shoot at them. The wolves came in attacking without asking. They're not going to ask the Terminus people, so the Terminus people would shoot them. And would the wolves kill the Whisperers? I do believe so, yeah. If the Claimers were still alive, would they join Rick or Negan? I do believe they might join Negan. I don't think they would join Rick, though. Negan, they would fit in, I would feel like. Joe Cool. Wait, where'd your question go? Wait, why the hell would it do that? Holy shit. The questions were down there. I was clicking the blue arrow, and it was going like one question at a time. And then out of nowhere, a whole page of questions popped up. But we're down to our last couple minutes here for real. 2-3 minutes. Joe Cool, Q&A. Do you think Dwight will continue to use his carved figures as a communication line? And they will have a savior discover one of the figures and have a deadly confrontation with Dwight? I think it's possible, sure. Ranch King, would you recommend I watch Game of Thrones during the Walking Dead break? Yes, I would recommend anyone watch the Game of Thrones, no matter when it is. Mox Don, what will happen to Eugene after the war regarding his loyalty to Rick and the group? I think he'll win it back. DD Productions, are you going to review season 2 of Preacher? It looks good. Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to review it. I will think about it, but season 2 of Preacher looks fan-freaking-tastic. Fantastic. I can't wait. But I do not know, because a lot of the stuff we are upgrading to, I might want to just enjoy Preacher as a show I watch, and then maybe we'll talk about it when we do some of the gaming videos. Because a lot of this stuff that we want to discuss, I might be able to just give a quick opinion during those. So I don't know just yet. Alicia Kingston, thank you very much. Dropping by to smash that like button. Filmmaker Wannabes, Q&A. Do you think Maria Bello, if she were cast, would be another outpost savior leader such as Gavin? I think it's possible, yeah. I think there's other possibilities, though, for her casting. I think there's definitely other possibilities. Seth Tone, hey Ronnie, Q&A. Do you think Darlie will die in war? Oh, you mean Daryl? No, at this time I don't. Maybe if they didn't have problems with season 7 rating, I think Daryl would die in the war. But after now, I don't think they'll risk it. Nate Hartswick, Who would win in a fist fight, Rick or Daryl? I don't care. Alex Pritt, should they start season 8 with zero dialogue like season 3 and a massive firefight at an outpost with Rick's group dominating the Savior's outpost and then theme music starts? You could do something like that. Sure, why not? Batman Bold animations. Who will be left when the show ends? It depends on how you want to end the show. Do you want to end it with Carl leading the community? It's either going to be Rick is alive or Carl's alive or Judith is alive. They're either ending it with someone alive or they're ending it with death. You know what I mean? I just don't see any other way to end it. How long do you think the Scavengers will be in the show? Scavengers, I think season 8. I think some will be left over, but I don't think they're going to continue on like entirely. How long do you think Oh, yeah, we already did that. Oh, yeah, I butcher a lot of names. Giovanni. What about Heath? I think I talked about that in detail a little while ago. I think he's just off to the side while the actor finishes his show, and he'll come back in some way with some other group maybe. I forget what I said, but check that out because I liked it back then when I said it. Melissa B. Do you resent Shiva as far as budget goes as much as I do? I wanted to love her, but I can't help but blame the cost of making her to bottle episodes. I don't resent Shiva, no. Listen, no, I just have to say no. You know, there's people getting insanely, wildly rich off of The Walking Dead. Like, insanely rich. I can't help but think that they could get just a little less rich and still be wildly rich and give some of that budget to the show. I don't blame Shiva. I blame the rich people. You know, it's at what point does it really matter if you make 10 million or 15 million? That 5 million could go to the show and create something amazing, or at least help in rounding out such an incredible show. You know, I blame greedy rich people. End of story, bottom line. All the problems with The Walking Dead, split episodes, this, that, and the third, I blame rich people because, you know, they don't, does it really matter if everyone just took, let's say everyone who made more than 5 million, more than 10 million, if every one of those people just took, you know, $500,000 off of what they made, which is shit in the scheme of things, that ain't shit, and then put that to the show, unless I'm wrong by how many people are getting rich as fuck, you know, I blame them, I don't blame Shiva. You guys let me know if I'm right or wrong. We're going to take one more last question because I am out the door. Ronnie, love your channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Remember, live stream tomorrow night. We're going to go an hour and a half probably tomorrow night, maybe 2 hours. Because I do want to try to play this video game. My brother bought me Witcher 3 for my birthday. So, and that was a big surprise. So I do want to try to carve out an hour of time to try to play that game. So... love your channel, Ronnie. Let's pick a good question here. What do we got? SSA Q&A Ronnie. I remember a few years back you said Negan would appear in season 8 premiere. What would they have done in season 7 then? They already stalled the crap out of All Out War. No, see, here's the thing. Yes, I absolutely, and it wasn't, yeah, it was season 8 premiere, sure, because of the 100th episode, but the idea was with, what was it? It was season 6. Season 6 with their stuff in Alexandria, you know, they took a huge chunk of story that wasn't all that important, and I understand why they did it, but they condensed all those comics of story, maybe a whole volume, into half an hour of show. You know what I mean? They took, what, all that volume and then put it in a half an hour of flashback with Carter, you know, taking a gun and going to kill Eugene and saying that whole overthrow. They took out the cleanup of Alexandria after All Out War. That's gone. That's not in the show. All those moments were things I thought they would do in the show. All Out War, I was assuming it would be bigger and it would be longer. And the reason, the main reason, is because I was gauging this off of the pacing and the tone when Scott Gimple came on in season 4. It had a very methodical and slow burn tone in season 4. In season 5, it started doing the same. It stayed doing the same thing. They had the moments, but it was also very calculated. So I thought they would continue that further. They would flesh out a lot of these stories. They would have more going on with this, more going on with that. And they just didn't. Season 6 was the moment. When season 6 aired, I remember sitting back and going, right off the first episode, fuck. It's everything I thought and everything I was basing my predictions on with the pacing. Season 6, episode 1 killed it. Immediately killed in it. So I floated around in denial for a little bit, and then the truth hit me like a ton of bricks. He was definitely reworking some things based off, I feel, the failures of season 3 and reworking the governor's story, because they reworked it, and I thought they reworked it very well. I loved the governor in season 4. Loved him in season 4. Loved that story. But anyway, I think they were doing the best with what they got. Anyway, when it came to Negan being in season 8, I know a lot of people overlooked the fact that I was talking about the Saviors being introduced a season early. So you would deal with the Saviors, you would deal with the kingdom, you would deal with the hilltop, not the kingdom, sorry. You would deal with the hilltop, you would deal with a larger world, but I just thought you would expand it a little bit and have more with Jesus, more with the Saviors, show them taking out the community, the outpost, and they did in a way, but it was just done very different than I had expected it to, you know? But I still stand behind that. If they would have went that direction, I would have loved it. Now, I'm fine with Negan being brought in early. Wait, what would they have done in season 7? Okay, yeah, so to answer your question, I was talking about expanding No Way Out, expanding the overthrow of Rick being the new leader in Alexandria. I think they could have done some really creative stuff for that storyline. And then building up No Way Out to be longer with the build-up, more tension, more suspense, and then when No Way Out actually happens, I'm talking about multiple episodes of just No Way Out. Inside, once the wall's broken down, going back and following all the characters, not just, you know, Rick mainly in this house, and then we had a little bit of Glenn and Enid. I meant a good chunk of them, but they broke it off with the other ones, and that's cool too. And then I meant after that you would have the new community with Jesus and his introduction, which was slightly different. And then we did get the Easter egg with the garbage people, which was kind of cool, how they mimicked comic Jesus' introduction. So it's all about fleshing out the stories with the characters. Like, one thing I stand behind is definitely getting more of Jesus, more of them scavenging, more of the cleanup. I'm trying to make sure I hit all the points, but so then you get the introduction of the Saviors, and you tease Negan, you know, throughout half of season 7, and then you get Negan in season 8. But there is definitely room for a lot of material to be stretched out. That is fine, but it's not all that bad. I think a couple tweaks would have made it perfect. I think the season 6 ending hit a lot of fans hard with how much they disliked that. Without that, I think they would have had a better response to it overall. Anyway, No Way Out was rushed. Yeah, you know, I really got to go, and that's what's stuttering me here. I would really love to talk about the what if could have happened, you know, with delaying that a little bit and showing the slow burn of the Saviors, name dropping this Negan character, introducing the Hilltop a little more, getting to know those characters a little more, going on some more of the runs, cleaning up after the Hilltop and all, after all No Way Out, having that No Way Out experience be devastating and just a whole different story all in itself. A huge thank you to Jonathan Gillis for the $2 super chat. You said yada 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 on every video. I try my best, but I really got to get going. I'm on my way out the door to pick up my daughter. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and make sure, where'd the chat go? Make sure to come back for tomorrow night. I'm trying for 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. My daughter's going over her grandmother, so I gotta go. But thoughts and opinions about everything we discussed in the comment box, and you can find MAPP merch. I'm starting a Redbubble. I started it. I got 5 designs, give or take, and we got a lot more coming, especially for Doomsday Kingdom. Some awesome shit. But if you want to wait for my video, I'm gonna order some samples in a couple weeks, and then I'll do a video video and show you guys. But the link to that is down below. There's a link to the Patreon for those interested, which the video discussing patron rewards and suggestions, I want to do an open live stream. I'm going to try to do that with all of us next week. So, thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.